Yeah, I think animal rights is the next wave after the same-sex marriage. We just got done with that, and that'll be pretty much over in terms of social attitudes within a few years to a decade. No one will even talk about it anymore. What's next? Animal rights, but also I think, you don't want to say environmental rights, but the rights of future generations to have a sustainable Earth, a planet to live on. I think we do owe an obligation, moral obligation to future generations and animals for a balanced ecosystem. And I think we'll get there. I think we're on our way there. But in terms of animal rights, where do we start? We start where Jeremy Bentham, really the founding father of animal rights and rights in general, natural rights concept, is that it's not can they talk or reason, can they suffer? So we begin in case of animals because they can't tell us I want the right to vote or what. We're not talking about that. Can they live a life without suffering? That we have improved. You know, all the laws against animal cruelty, dog fighting, bear baiting, you know, cat nailing to the post, and all the cruel things people used to do to animals. We've largely gotten over that. Bullfighting is on the way out. You know, cockfighting is illegal in most countries. And so the next step then, I think I'm on board with Temple Grandin, that is the modification of the meat industry so that cattle they don't suffer as much. I think we need to get away in the long run from factory farms. It's not healthy anyway. The food is not good for you. It really isn't. You're really better off eating organic foods that are grown or raised on small farms. The EU is really good about this. Like chicken cages can't be too small, and the cows have to be free to walk around, and I'm still concerned about like taking the calf away from the female cows because that's how they get them to generate more milk. It's not good for those. They don't like it. They scream and cry, and those are the kind of things that we're making a lot of progress on, have a ways to go. In the long run, century or two, maybe we'll have synthetic meat. I kind of see that. The Google guys are working on that problem. I think it's just a molecular machinery problem. And so I think we can get there in time. That one's going to happen slower than same-sex marriage, women's rights, civil rights, simply because these are different species, so we care less about them. But as the moral sphere continues to expand, we've already banned the use of chimpanzees in medical research as of this year. That's it. They're all being retired, and they go to Club Med for chimps. Great. How about monkeys? Let's keep the sphere out a little bit more. All marine mammals, whales, dolphins, cetaceans, and so on. And just keep going. It'll take a while, decades, but we're getting there. Yeah, I think the idea of being a carnivore, we'll look back on that as, like we look back at the Romans, how barbaric of them. It's totally understandable why we eat meat. I love to eat meat, and I'm not there. I'm not quite vegetarian, vegan. I'm what's called a reducitarian. There's an actual group, the reducitarians. Reduce your meat eating. Okay, hey, it's a goal. And the reason for that I like is because it's practical. Because, if you go, okay, I'm going vegan, that's it, I'm not going to eat another piece of meat, and then you have a steak, oh no, I feel so bad, I've sinned, I have to go confess my sins. And it's practically like a religion, and I don't like that. So let's just see if we can reduce the factory farm carnage. Just eat less meat. And if you're going to eat meat, meatless Mondays, or how about just meat Mondays and no other meat for the week? And if you eat meat, then just eat not the factory farm meat, but the organic meat that came from a small farm. Increments. I call this protopia. Instead of aiming for utopia, where everything's perfect forever and we're all just sinless, okay, forget that. That's not going to happen. Just see if we can make today slightly better than yesterday and tomorrow slightly better than today. Just incrementally. Protopia.